Shalom, my name is Yehoshua Yaakov. I'm making this video from Jerusalem. I am a didactic scientist, an American citizen. I live here for 22 years. First, Keith Olbermann. A number of your videos I've enjoyed watching. You've hit the bullseye with President Cheney as the prime culprit of many of the fundamental dysfunctionalities and destruction of the principles of democracy. Let us put on the record a number of things later in this video, but for now let us focus on 9/11. 9/11 is the watershed event. It's the historical epic of American modern history. It signals the collapse of the local reality in America, and the local reality in America, unfortunately, in giving to receive, is its capitalism, and it struck the Twin Towers, both silver buildings symbolic of money, of coins. This is the end of men and mankind's exile. That's the meta-narrative for the secular humanists. It is it's the end of the modern and pre-modern and modern eras, and the old central organizing principle is giving to receive, and the new central organizing principle is receiving to give. This is the collapse of the local reality globally. Now, the watershed event that 9/11 is, its meta-narrative means that the East-West models both have collapsed, and they're replaced by Humanomics, the new East-West convergence model. And its central organizing principle is receiving to give. As I said, it's the new cognitive behavioral science paradigm. And the second level, the first level was the psychosocial level. The East-West models have both collapsed. The second level is the behavioral level, and the two primary monotheistic religions, Islam and Christianity, are both imploding. And we won't go beyond that to say, let's just, we're seeing all of the evidences already. Thirdly, on the cognitive level, we are seeing the two major economies of the world, the two largest economies of the world, imploding, namely America and Japan, under the weight of $126 a barrel for fuel, for oil, to fuel those economies. They're not sustainable. And 24/7, 365, the moving in these economies and in the G9 and the world of hundreds of millions of cars has created a planetary crisis that is as well not sustainable. And the fourth level is the psycho-linguistic level, which is the most important. Chomsky has, Noam Chomsky at MIT, and his psycholinguistics and syntax has anticipated the end of man and mankind's exile. He's done some incredible work, but I won't talk about that in this video. It's another video. On the psycholinguistic level, its meaning, the meta-narrative meaning, is the collapse of the local reality applies to man and mankind on the individual level, the family level, the community level. And this means that the clip of exile, the created duality, anthropologic, psychologic, sociologic model of man's mind, which is given to receive, is the only personality all of us know. It has collapsed. It's not coming back. It's irreversible. And that leaves man and mankind with the reality of ground zero in his life personally, and he has to deconstruct and deprogram the mind. He has to deprogram ground zero of the collapsed local reality of exile, and he has to deprogram the mind of exile in order to restore his authentic natural self, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually, and sociologically, anthropologically, and to heal from the enormous injury and damages that he's done to himself in denying his authentic self that has been the cause of his exile. Now that is where we are. Mr. Olbermann, and I want to put in perspective a couple of things. One, George Bush is just he's just an angry little boy in short pants who was pushed by his father to. He was a disaster as the governor of Texas, pushed into politics, dumped with the Republican network and its infrastructure to make him president of the United States is unworthy, as we've come to see he is for that high office. Having said that, the father also engineered that the little boy in short pants should have a chief executive behind the curtain, and that's none other than Halliburton's former chief executive. You hit the nail right on the head about the 15 billion in revenue in 2007, record profits, 3.5 billion for Cheney and his cronies with Iraq profits. There's a lot of blood in their hands. He's not my vice president, and Bush is not my president. So here the bottom line is, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. Cheney's been running the White House for the entire 2 terms of the Bush administration. That said, things like dispatching, with the sleeping George Bush dispatching Alberto Gonzales to the DOJ to obstruct justice, the things that they have come up with and done are truly they're a blight on America. Now, having said all of these things, let's put this video in perspective. The bottom line, and I think probably the most important thing to realize, is that the meta-narrative of 9/11 speaks volumes of fundamental change on an enormously complex scale, that we move from behavioral man to cognitive man, that we have to ascend and inhabit the quantum reality. Okay, having said that, we need a new model, and that model, the East-West convergence model, is Humanomics in general, and its 2 paradigms received to give the integration of labor. The latter being the new economic paradigm. That will require a presidential mandate, new national policy, a mandate from the Congress to build, develop, and acculturate it, to retool and retrain the entire workforce of America, and that will create tens of millions of sustainable domestic content jobs that will pay twice at the end of 3 to 4 years, twice as much in the index of present incomes, and 3 times from years 11 through 13 and 14. It'll eliminate the national debt, it'll eliminate the trade deficit, it'll eliminate the Social Security deficit, it will triple the value and purchasing power of the dollar. It will take the U.S. economy from 14 trillion to 45 to 50 trillion. And there will be a fundamental restructuring of the extreme corrupt biases between Wall Street and Main Street, so that there is a proper and just distribution of the wealth. The intellectual property, the basic science and technology, enabling technology to do this. I'm the author of Humanomics in general and its 2 paradigms in particular. They are being provided to Barack Obama's candidates for president. And you know, I saw the corruption in Washington 22 years ago, and I left. And I've never been back. I've never set foot in America since. And unfortunately, the corruption here is is every bit the equal in the Holy Land. But having said that, we're in the modern era. We're still a baby. So having said all of these things, let's come to cases. The basic questions that have to be answered, the challenge before us right now of Americans is what creates life and sustainable human development life systems. I'll say it again, the question, what creates life and sustainable human development life systems, and what creates wealth? Those are the 2 questions that have to not only be answered, but developed, acculturated, and articulated, and delivered, and in the restructuring fundamentally of the U.S. economy, creating massively jobs beginning at the end of the first year of the project. It'll be creating tens of thousands a month. It'll take $5 billion of investment, amortized, 60% coming from the G9. It's a win-win situation. Thank you for listening. Vote for Barack Obama, and Mr. Keith Olbermann, you're a winner. Thanks a lot.